Alright, my phone's trying to die on me, so we'll try and make this quick. So this is going to be a review on the maryn by Machine-Wise. So here it is in all its glory. Beautiful machine, beautifully machined. You can do, well, let's do it this way, so I don't run out of room here. Very little play, as Machine-Wise is known for. Of course, with the play being that little, there's going to be no tap. Okay. There's your sound check. So, with that being said, this knife sounds great. We all just heard it. This knife also happens to incorporate one of the key elements that I love in my knives, and that is jimping or some type of texture, any type of texture on the sides here. And he has done that here exquisitely, and I absolutely adore that. As anybody who's watched me for, a couple of videos will know that I will rant about the sides being smooth. You can see that the overall design is a channel Zen pin construction, followed by a very square handle pattern. This is speed channel. There are a few full channels. I'm told that those are better, but I think there's only supposed to be like 20 or something along those lines, so they're hard to get. Take a look inside this channel here. As you can see, it's dirty, as I did not buy this from Machine-Wise. I bought this secondhand, so there's a few nicks and stuff in it, but overall the machining is superb, and also something that I absolutely love when a maker or a company does this is you see how it has a relief cut through here, right? Because there's that this top section here fits the blade nicely, right? But of course, as you get further down the blade, play starts to play, no pun intended, a bigger role in the amount of movement, because obviously if you have a slight amount of movement down here, by the time you get to the end, it's going to be much more noticeable. So I love whenever makers go ahead and mill, take out a little bit more material here, as you can see they've done here, to just give the blade that extra room for play, so that there's no way for that to really get tap. Now, of course, I'm sure if you beat this enough, you could get it to get some tap, but I don't really see anybody doing that, and I've never seen one with tap. Ultimately, I guess you could screw up any knife enough to get tap, but I don't see it really. I don't see it really happening with any of these knives. Just going off of what I've seen, the fit and finish of his stuff seems to be superb, along with the quality. I've got a lot of people that tell me that these are the best beaters on the market. I don't really beat my knives or anything along those lines, but I do use them. I'll cut stuff with them, I'll flip them. They do get dropped on the ground, they do, fly across my room. Things like that do happen, but I don't, I don't drop them on concrete or asphalt, really. So, in that aspect, no, they don't get beat. This tip has been reground, to my knowledge. Does have a few nicks in the blade, but nothing too bad. This is number 152. This is S35VN on the blade steel here. Excellent material, excellent choice, and that's becoming a lot more common in the the knife world. You'll see S35VN on a lot of things, the majority of things even, I would say. Like I said, it does go off of some Zen pins here, which a lot of people, including myself, prefer the Zen pins over Tang pins. Tang pins aren't bad as long as they're done correctly, but Zen pins give you that added reassurance. You know, it's good old faithful. Something interesting that I did notice, and I'm not sure if this is second-hand use or if this is just how they come, but you'll see this side, right? We've got our Torx pivot screws, and then if you flip it over, you can see they've been kind of notched out, and you know, you can't really take that apart. I'm not exactly sure if one of the previous owners did that, or if that comes from factory. But like I said, it really, you just need one side to get a hold of, and I mean, you could probably fit, maybe you could get a flathead in there if it started freely spinning, but I don't think it would. Besides that, the tolerances on this thing are perfect, so you really don't need to take it apart anyway. There's no need to. This knife is excellent for things like choker fans with that added grip on the sides. It does have some slight, some ever so, it's really not even texturized, it's just the finish. Much like a Sentinel with the very fine finish that it has, this has an even finer finish, and it's just lines coming down the titanium here, and it's you know, it does, you can feel it, like there's more grip to it than just flat polished tie. But I just thought that I would point that out. It's not super noticeable or anything, but it's almost like it's got the texture of one of those cards that you get as a kid, right? One of those cards that changes, you know, you hold it this way and it's a dinosaur, and you change it like this and it's a dragon. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, it's kind of got that same texture. I'm not exactly sure what material that's called, but it's got that it's got the same texture as that. The whole pattern, you know, keep it simple, stupid. Stuck to it, just three little cutouts here per side, per handle, and I think it works well with the knife. The blade shape, I'm not a huge fan of. I like everything, I just don't like how narrow it is down here. I'd like it to be a little bit thicker here, but that's neither here nor there. That's just preferences. We do have a nice little clip running along the top here. The spine is rounded over completely. It is not chamfered. It is not chamfered or anything. It is completely crowned over. The tip is intact. Like I said, I think this tip has been reground. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. That doesn't look like it's factory, but maybe it is. I'm not an expert on machine-wise. Overall, this is a beautiful knife. It flips amazingly. The balance is superb. It's slightly handle bias, as most people prefer their knives to be. So, yeah, something like that. Sounds great. From what I heard, the durability is a 10 out of 10 on these things. And another thing that you'll notice is, although these handles are very square, they do have a slight rounded, a slight crowning on top here, which is preferred in my opinion. You also do have a chamfered edge along all the sides here. Okay, along all the sides, and you do get the crowned ends too, so there's not sharp edges to, you know, dig into your fingers whenever you're doing maneuvers. As far as the overall grip goes, I think it's great. I don't really ever find myself having this knife slip out of my hands, because it's got that weird texture on the sides here, and it's got the amazing jimping on or it's got the weird texture on the flats and the amazing jimping on the sides. So the overall grip and ergonomics of this knife are superb, and I mean, you don't really get any better than this. Um, the blade steel's, it's S35VN, so that's a great blade steel. It does have a few scratches in it. Like I said, it is secondhand. It looks like it came off a surface grinder or some type of lapping stone. I can't be for certain, but I think I've seen quite a few makers do things like that too. And it seems that when they do take the time to surface grind them directly and or put them on a lapping stone, that they get better tolerances. Because I mean, that's pretty minimal play right there. But overall, this knife is a great knife. If you can pick one up, I highly recommend it. I got this knife for an amazing price. Really, the price that I got is kind of ridiculous, but if you can get it for, $500 or under, I would say go for it. If you're really, whoring for one, you can go ahead and spend the extra money and pick one up. I didn't get a box or anything, but for the price that I paid, I'm okay with that. I don't know what the packaging is like really. But overall, I would say if you can get one of these, pick one up. Hopefully I'll get a light in the future so that I can do a review on that one. But really, nothing bad to say on this knife. Definitely a go-getter for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and end it off here. I don't have anything in particular left to say about it. So I'll leave you with my thoughts, and you can make your own decisions. All right, take care.